Assalamu alaikum dear students, this is Kamar Sumaira from the Department of English, University of Southern Punjab, Multan. Well, moving on towards our next step of lectures, today we are going to do the levels of linguistic analysis. One of the level in depth, like phonological level we did in the previous lectures, we are doing the syntactic level and the word categories. What is syntax? Syntax is a new name for our grammar. When studying language through stylistics or linguistics, one of the most important levels of analysis is the syntactic level. Why syntactic? Because syntax refers to the rules and principles that govern how words are combined into phrases, clauses and sentences. Unlike phonology, when studying sounds, its patterns, its types, consonants and vowels, or morphology where we studied word formation, the different formation of words at the level of inflections or derivations, syntax look at how words function in relation to one another within a sentence. So what does it mean? Well, syntactic level means that we are going to explore a sentence or a paragraph with respect to the different levels of syntax. The highest level of syntactic level we all know is a paragraph, and that paragraph to a sentence. At this level, we examine sentence structure and how it contributes to meaning and to create a style. For example, the difference between the boy chased the dog and the dog was chased by the boy, or Ali eats an apple, or an apple is eaten by Ali, lies not only in grammar but also in stylistic effect. What is that stylistic effect? For sure, it is dynamic, while the second is passive and more formal. The difference is not stylistic in its appearance. It is semantically different, it is syntactically different as well. Why? Because the emphasis on the subject would be different when you construct a sentence into its passive voice form. So syntax therefore plays a crucial role in clarity or emphasizing the rhythm and tone in the given sentence. It's not the rhythm that is created in the poetry, it is the rhythm that how the sentences are joined together in the form of cohesiveness. The writers manipulate syntax for stylistic purposes. A poet may use inversion, that is full fathom, 5 thy father, full fathom, 5 thy father lies, Shakespeare said in his one of the dramatic line, to achieve rhythm and emphasis. A novelist may employ short, abrupt sentences for dramatic tension, or long, complex ones for detailed description, while poetic form may omit or elect many of the information at syntactic level for creating rhythm. But in narration, we do not have such choice. We must be descriptive and to write down the whole sentence in narration. Thus, syntactic choices are not neutral but contribute significantly to the overall style of a text. So, every register in our language has its own textual style in syntax. The word categories in syntax are parts of speech. Within sentence, words are classified into categories according to their grammatical function. So, coming to the word level, we all know that syntax is dependent on the word category, which would move forward towards the next upcoming steps into phrases, clauses and then sentences. These categories are building blocks of sentence structure. And we have already discussed that what is a noun, what is a pronoun, or what are different other things. Let's do it today as well again, for just as a revising concept of stylistic effect. A noun is a word that names someone, or that is the name of something or some place, person or idea. It can be collective, it can be common, it can be proper. Next to it is a pronoun, that is the word used instead of a noun. Stay here. What is the difference between noun and pronoun? Well, noun and pronoun are not different, but they are the strings of the same thing. Adjective would come after it. Fine. What is noun? What is pronoun? Let's explore into its depth. Nouns would be the specification of the names of someone or something, while the pronouns are the categories which are just used, the words which are used in place of a noun. The third category of our description is adjective. What is adjective? This is the word or the word categories which defines the specification or qualifying the nouns or pronouns. And for adjectives, we have done that adjective can be attributive adjective, adjective can be predicative adjective, or it can be post adjective. So, coming back to our previous lectures and previous debate, take it as your point number 3 in your category of a word. The fourth category is a verb. Verb is what? Verb is the action of some person or something. It means a living or non-living thing. Verbs can be of two types, lexical or auxiliary. Well, auxiliary verbs are there for defining their category, for depending on the tenses in which they are used, and to define the sentences into its different forms of present, past or future tense, which can be primary or modal auxiliaries. The other one is the lexical verb, and for lexical verbs we could have two categories, transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. And for transitive and intransitive we have discussed in our previous lectures. Again, in detail you may take a reference of all of those information for our today's lecture. Then number 5 is your adverb. Okay, now what is adverb? Adverb is the word that qualifies not only the verb but also an adjective and another adverb in a sentence. Where is that verb that may lie? Well, the placement of the adverb is not specific. It may be in the beginning of a sentence, it may be in the middle of a sentence, or it may be at the end of a sentence. For example, adverb is a word that provides the answer in a text of 3 WH questions. As I said earlier, it is when, where and how. That also nominate the different types of adverbs as adverb of time, adverb of place or adverb of person. So, if it is so, adverb of quality, that is quantity, adverb of quantity as well, that defines the adjective qualification or modifying of an adjective in a given sentence. Preposition is another word that connects what? It shows the relationship between noun or pronouns and their elements or the objects that are coming after them. So, they are not the backbone of a sentence like the verbs, but they connect the ideas together for the reason that without all the prepositions, we cannot understand the whole sentence in a language. If you just omit, for example, the children were playing in the park, and you omit the word in from the given sentence, the sentence would be ambiguous. I won't say meaningless, ambiguous, and it would create definitely some ambiguity and unclarity in the given sentence. So, these are important for the reason that they connect the all information with while joining the words or the phrases all together. They might be simple, they might be compound, like simple are in, on, at, of. Compound in the form of when we join into, onto, beyond, likewise, or phrasal prepositions like when we say in contrast to, in comparison with, likewise. Then conjunction is the word that connects the word, phrases or clauses together within the given sentence. Again, a sentence level is in the debate. That it can be a simple one like in the form of independent, or we call it coordinate conjunction. Then we have compound conjunctions or phrasal conjunctions as well, which we call another one in the form of paired conjunctions. Then the last but not the least one is the interjection, for the reason that we could have or the syntax can identify one more parts of speech. Interjection is the one word in a text that expresses the sudden feeling or the emotion of the speaker or of the writer. So, it means if someone is writing, "Oh, are you there?" that "oh" would need some impressionistic mark that we call interjection mark after it. So, it gives the emotion or the sudden feeling of some person that is like a speaker or a writer. The next category is the article, and article could be yes, specific, or the common one like a and an, definite or indefinite. So, if it is indefinite, it is a or an, and if it is definite, it is the or the, depends on the context in which it is used. The function and lexical categories are dependent on their function in a sentence. These all categories are dependent for the reason that they are there to function or to do something in a sentence. These categories allow us to identify not only the grammatical function of a word, but also its stylistic effect. For example, a high frequency of adjectives can make a passage descriptive and emotional. So, it means the use of adjectives or interjections would bring the emotions more explicitly defined rather than that of the simple use of nouns, while the predominance of verbs may suggest dynamic or action things to be taken within the given text. It means some action is there, that is dynamic action or static. The stylistic significance of all these categories is at the syntactic level, that it provides the arrangement of word categories which influences how readers perceive meaning. For example, when I say Ali eats an apple daily, you will take Ali as an important factor to be discussed rather than the habit of him. But when I say daily Ali eats an apple, it does mean something else. So, for example, in heavy news, in running text, it creates an impression of objectivity and factuality. By contrast, adjective-rich prose, for example, romantic poetry, produces imagery and emotional coloring. We have seen it through our poetic analysis. A political speech may use parallel structures so that the audience may be taken as an attention, or the audience will take it attentively with the verbs like we shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds. It's Churchill's speech, yes, to create rhythm and persuasion. And that we is created so that it is taken, understood that the speaker and the audience are at the same level. Thus, the syntactic level and the word categories together form the foundation of stylistic analysis. They reveal how the form of language and how the organization of the language is possible. Not just its content, but it shapes the meaning, tone, and the effect that it brings out for the audience in front of them. So, we need to identify all the syntactic categories, and we need to have a grip on the syntactic categories so that we can analyze it from the word to the sentence level. This is all word level categories are discussed in our today's lecture. We will discuss the other syntactic properties in our upcoming lecture. So, stay tuned and do watch your next lecture for solving your all problems related to syntactic level. The phrase, clause and sentence is coming in your next lecture. Till that time, stay blessed. Have a nice day.